Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vobes Show. The show will be starting very soon. I'm sorry to say that Dumpman couldn't make it this week, but he will be with us next week. Rest assured, normal service will be returned as soon as we've paid our library card. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes. Sorry to say that in tonight's show on the 2nd of February 2022, there is no Dumpman. Now, Dumpman was supposed to appear on the show. Unfortunately, he's got to do a bit of chauffeuring for his dear old mum, who's not terribly well, but it's nothing terribly major. But she's got to go to hospital and have a few checkups, and you know what it's like. So, obviously, he can't make it today. But he did say, what about next week? And I said, yep, next Wednesday's yours, so book him in, Dano. That will be Dumpman coming in, and we will be sitting here. No doubt Dumpman will bring a couple of beers, and we will be knocking them back, ladies and gentlemen, taking it all very nice. I've just been told that the reverb is still on. Sorry about that. That is and it is one of them. Anyway, so reverb is now off. Thank you very much, Sean James Cameron, for that. Welcome to the show. Tonight, I want to know, how can you improve either yourself, your home, your house, your life? Improvements. What would you like to do? Would you like to improve yourself? Are you somebody who's not happy with the way you look, the way you dress? Perhaps you want to have some Botox. Perhaps you want to chop off an arm or move your nose to the top of your head. Maybe you want to pin your ears under your elbows because they make nice little pads when you're resting your elbow on the table. Have you got some ideas? Would you like to change your kitchen? Do you change your kitchen regularly? Do you change it into something else, like a small hippopotamus? Or is it that you just change the white goods in the cupboards? Or do you change the fronts of the cupboards or the sides of the cupboards or just the underneath of the cupboards? Maybe it's the crockery in the kitchen that you like to get shot of and get something fresh. Are you somebody, whenever you're out and about at the shops and you see something new and exciting, you think, I must have that and I'll throw the other away? Perhaps you don't throw the other away and you have both for the price of two. Who knows? By the way, the phone is switched off and it's on the back being charged. charged, so you can't quite ring in yet. Sorry about that. You can try, but I can't answer it. The telephone number will be, once I've turned it on, is 0793 4746 790, because I know, unfortunately, dear old Zane and Alan Sandell may be the first to get off the starters orders and phone in. So we're just going to let other people have a bit of a change or a chance to call in, if that's okay. No disrespect to them. That will be good. Lynn B says, I've been upcycling today, painting my kitchen units. Fantastic. What colour have you been painting them? What colour were they before? Are they made of plastic? Are they a veneer? Are they old-fashioned wood, pine or mahogany? Does anybody have old-fashioned stuff in their kitchen, or am I the only one? Does anybody still use an old tin bath to have a bath, or is everybody modern with central heating and these modern fitted in? I'm actually thinking of getting rid of my bath and having an old tin bath which I can bring down in front of the Essie. Yes, I am mad. Andrew Norris says fine by me, which is good to hear. I'm not quite sure what is fine by me, but we will have a video by Andrew Norris in the sunken garden. Now, not sure if it's his sunken garden or whether he is sunk in the garden. Maybe it's just his head and a few beardy bits sticking out the top going, help, help, I inadvertently got into quicksand. What's happened to me? Oh no, there is no escape. Maybe. You'll have to wait and see. We also have a video from dear old Bernie, who's gone to Moffat, not Graham Moffat, from, of course, the Will Hay films, in which he was in Oh, Mr. Porter. No, not there. Up in Scotland. Okay, there new lad. It's a grim prob night tonight, Mrs. Wright. You're buying a toaster. That place, you know, that's so far north you need a telescope to see it, and a very tall ladder. Maybe that. Ed Loud is out there. He says, I got rid of my tin bath because I lost the tin opener. It's a shame, isn't it? Otherwise, you'll be stuck in the bath and you can't get out. The water gets a bit cold. The bubbles aren't quite as frothy, and you start to see parts of the anatomy that you'd rather not see. And then you start taking photographs of yourself, and, well, you know where all that leads. It's a one-way street to the padded cell. Colonel Cragratty says, as long as we are not subjected to a video views of Mr. Vobes in his tin bath. That video is coming out tomorrow. I will go and film it tonight especially, and I'll put it, you know that you can manipulate the algorithm in YouTube. You know that? A little bit of massaging of the old algorithm. You get it in the right place and it'll do whatever you like. You can send that video. I can send that video of me in the bath with bits of my anatomy that you'd rather not see around the world, and everybody will be sitting there having their breakfast, and instead of the toast popping up, yeah, my video. Anyway, let's not talk about murky subjects like that. Thanks very much, Ed Loud, for bringing that to our attention. It's all about change tonight. Would you, what sort of improvements, rather, not change, improvements. I've got to change the script here. So would you like to improve yourself, your house, your living, your financial status? But what to? It's not just, yes, I want to change, but what to? And not, yes, I want to be richer. Why? Why do you want to be richer? What I want to know is, what are the improvements for? And is it always good to improve? That would be interesting. Thank you very much, sir, says Colonel Cragratty. Martin Lee says, we painted our old kitchen cupboard in light brown colour that matches the mud from the garden when the dogs shake in there. Like your style, young fella, my lad. That's very good. Michael White says, I don't want to see your rubber duck, Richard. No, you probably don't. Neither do I most of the time. And Mr. Mocky says, I've got 10 P's and a filthy. And a filthy if you need change. Marvellous. Not quite sure what he means, but let's hope it's all good. And I've seen Sean in the bath, says Audrey Forbes Hamilton. As long as he wasn't in your Inglenook fireplace, then that's okay. So yes, we're going to be talking about improvements. What sort of improvements would you like? Don't forget, you can call the show in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, after the first video. 0793 4746 790 is the number. Or, of course, you can contact the show in the chat room by putting the @ sign and then the Vobes Show, all one word, the Vobes Show, @ the Vobes Show. It pops up in orange on my screen, And there we go. So I'm trying to change a little bit of my style, how I look. I bought a nice snazzy jacket. I'm wearing cravats now. I feel quite comfortable with that. It's a sort of a slightly new look. I think sometimes when you do your performance and you need a bit of a change, it makes you feel different. It's nice to feel something. I hope it's an improvement. It's not just about change, but I hope that every time I do something, I've improved a little bit, learning from the past. And in my house, as you know, which is a little bit run down, not by the number 32 bus, I can tell you, but it's a bit tired, and it certainly needs some improvements. I want to build a little outhouse on the side. I want to take the sink and the washing machine out and put them out, and the fridge as well, into the outhouse so that they're not in the kitchen. I want to make my own sofa, which we were talking about on Monday's show, and then I want to be able to put my feet up on a little poof. Nice. A little poof in front of the Essie and keep my little tootsies warm. And I think every gentleman sitting in his abode would like to do that. It's not completely barking, as you might think. Have we got any more comments, he says, having a quick gander over there. Mr. Mocky says that Julia Hartley, can you read it out for Mr. Vobes, please? I'm not quite sure what he means. At the Vobes Show, can he read what out? I don't know what he means. But we'll come back to it. Alison O'Brien says, hello, everybody. I want to be in better health. Money does not make you happy. No, money alone, it certainly can improve certain things. But, of course, with it comes the responsibility of how much you spend and what you spend it on. Colonel Cragratty says, we would probably like to downsize and up cost from our 4-bedroom house, Cragratty Towers, to a 3-bedroom bungalow to save using the stairs when we get older. Of course, I would have thought that using the stairs was a cinch. You probably don't need them. You just need a bit of old rope, don't you? And clamber up that way. No doubt you could abseil down or do what the fire service does and go up your pole. But anyway, let's not talk about disgusting things like that. Mark Burgess says, change my dear. And it seems not a moment too soon. Change my dear. What do you mean, change your dear? By the way, Mark Burgess, you sent in some videos, and I do mean to show them, and I think we're going to get round to those on Friday. I've put them in a folder, and now I need to know what to do with them, because they were in a number of... one of them I can't use because it's all upright like this, but the others are like that. So we'll try and get them in on the Friday show, if that's okay. Or possibly tomorrow. Who knows? By the way, Ricky is coming in tomorrow, just to let you know. Ricky is coming. Tomorrow is a Ricky day. Yeah, not a rickety day, although it could be a bit rickety when you've seen the video. We have another exciting video, bit of a comedy for you in the morning from about 6:30, I think. Ricky and I, can't tell you anything more than that. Another comedy, well, we hope it's funny, which will be going out on the Bald Explorer channel. Mark Burgess says, oh, I said that, change my dear. And Colonel Cragratty says, Lady Godiva is, what? No, he says that Lady Cragratty slightly struggling with the stairs. What you need, I tell you what you need, is go to the underground, up in London, and nick one of them moving stairs, the escalators. You'll be all right with one of those. And Ed Loud says, oh no, Ricky and Vobes, my sides are going to hurt. Yes, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen. And Julia M says, I would like a new home near water, more southerly. Where are you based at the moment, Julia M? And what would be the best place that you want to go to improve your life? A nice bit of water. Would you be one of those, what you want is one of those gardens that goes down to a very calm little lake or a river, and then you could get on a little coracle and paddle about to your heart's content. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Is there anything else that you'd like to change? Everybody wants to change something. It would be interesting. You're going to change the vision now. Instead of seeing my ugly face, we've got another one for you. No, I don't mean another ugly face. I mean another face, just in case I dig myself a bit of a hole, and I can go and then turn on the phone. We're going to catch up with Andrew Norris. Now, I'm not quite sure if he's in Croatia or over in Britain. I think he's in Croatia on this one, because he was, when we last saw him, he was down in Dorset, which was lovely to see, that wonderful place. But he is down in the secret garden, and I'm just hoping that I have got it all lined up. Oh, yes, I have. But to get there, Take it away, Andrew.
About 13 years ago, I was walking along here, and by chance I discovered a most wonderful garden. It was being worked on by a couple called Zlatko and Anna Devenica. And when they were building this huge building behind me, all the excess soil they brought here and they dumped on this plain, on this meadow here, and thus raised the level of soil by about 6 feet. And sunk in a depression was Zlatko's garden. So I made my first documentary about him, and this was in summer of 2009. And I caught him at a point where he had been given notice to vacate the garden because they wanted to build on this meadow. As you can see, they haven't done anything 13 years later. But this was where Zlatko had his garden, and this is all that is remaining.
Samo kaj to moraš stalno raditi. Čim ne radiš, gotovo. Jer da je prekrasan. Ja volim cveće.
By August of 2009, Zlatko and Anna were given notice to vacate the site, and so they set about harvesting their vegetables and digging up what plants they could. But before the old garden was finally levelled by the bulldozers, the entire area around them was raised about 2 meters, with soil excavated from the Bundeck site. And they found themselves increasingly sheltered, sunk down in a depression below what is now ground level. So that from the street the garden completely disappeared from view.
There we are, the sunken garden, end of part 1. Fascinating stuff, beautiful colours as well, lovely to see. As I was out filming today for Saturday's video, which will be another, the Sussex Border Path walk. I can't even remember what it is I'm doing. But yeah, I noticed that the snowdrops were out and the daffodils are a little poking up now. So it's going to be great to see all those lovely early flowers of spring. Also, I happened to be out, whilst we're there, improving the Vobes Show, improving the Bald Explorer. I went to Charlie's farm shop and I bought some more meat, and I chatted there with the chap and I said, what do you reckon? Is it possible to go and get a good walk around the farm and talk to the farmer about the farm and how they do their sustainable farming and all of this? He said, oh yeah, that would be great. So hopefully we'll get some of that. Improving things, that's what we want to do. Now, the phone is plugged in, 0793 4746 790. If you are wanting to give me a call about the things that you would improve in your life, whether it's you, whether it's your physical you, your dressing up you, whether it's your house, your environment, or the place you'd like to go. I see that Julia M says she's up in the northwest and she's found a lovely little place down in Pulborough. That would be great. Lovely. Pulborough is a very lovely place, just off the A29 and the crossing along with the A272. It's very nice. We do have a phone call. Let's find out who that is. We'll find out what improvements they want to make to their lives. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Nigel Sadler. How are you? Yay! Yeah, what improvements would you like to make, young man?
Well, we've done a couple.
Mm-hmm.
We know about one. We had a new fire put in our...
yes.
burning stove.
Have you got a house full of smoke?
So, well, no, they put a liner in, so that didn't happen. They took the old one out. I don't think actually needed to do that, but hey, they could charge us more money if they replaced the old one. Looked in perfect nick once they ripped it out. So now we've got a nice small one. So it's just costing us a small fortune in logs, but we will find a better source of logs.
Yes.
When?
Yes. So this is a wood burning, or this is a multi-fuel, is it?
Yeah, it'll take coal and wood.
And is it in your front room?
It's in the front room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Can you put a kettle on it?
But no. Well, I suppose it was a small one. There isn't that much height. You could put something onto wood.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is you can put at least. Can you put a cup of tea on there just to keep it warm? Yeah.
Yes, it's big enough to put one of those fans on. That you've got in your front.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Oh, they are magic. They are. I mean, they do pump out. I mean, you feel like there's nothing coming towards you, but there is enough just to drift that warm air into the room. It's lovely. And of course, you will get immune to the smell of wood smoke to a degree. Every time anybody comes in to your house, oh, what a lovely smell.
Yes.
And it gets rid of all those horrible odours that you don't think about.
Yes.
So that's
it's good. It just finished its annealing process because you have to run it in for a few days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How lovely though. And has it got a glass so you can see the logs?
Yes, nice big glass space. So
fantastic.
It's very, very impressive when it's on full burn.
Yeah.
Looks a bit like a steam train, I always think.
Yes, absolutely. There you are, shoveling the coal in or throwing the logs in and feeling like you're moving down the track.
Yes,
Super.
Something like that.
So that's a lovely improvement because everybody feels you can all get snuggled up round the fire and read stories to one another, and then any of the children who are a bit naughty, you just stick their heads into the fire pit there and they won't be naughty again. And it's good for you.
This is true.
Then they might need some improvements. Of course, they've got burnt limbs and stuff, which isn't so nice.
Well, quite. I'm hoping when we get bigger logs like you, that they'll help me chop them up. I've got to build a wood store.
Yeah, get Aaron to do that. He'd be good. Get him like big muscles up there as you're out there chopping down the logs.
I think he'd like wielding an axe.
Yes, I bet he would.
Much that sort of thing.
So that's improvement number one. You said you had a few.
Yes, the other one was we replaced that. Remember, we had that silly sliding door, a bit like a patio door, which was our main entrance to the house on the back door.
Oh yeah.
And that we replaced with a proper door that's a proper width.
Right.
So you can actually carry things through it, because the old thing used to only be like 2 foot wide, and you couldn't. You couldn't even carry a basket of laundry to hang up on the lawn through it. It was just too narrow. I don't know how it was ever allowed, because it would be a fire exit, and it needs to be at least 900 mil wide.
So what was it? Was it the wall? The actual, not so much the door, but the width between the 2 points that was too narrow.
I mean, it's a very wide space, but it had 2 narrow sliding doors, because obviously half of it slides.
Oh, I see what you mean. So once you got rid of all of that, you could just stick in a door and suddenly
get a door plus a glazing panel to one side. So that's all rather smart. So
yeah,
that done. But the big job that I would like to do would be to enlarge the kitchen, because that the one thing we've always hated about the house is lovely proportioned. But the kitchen was just awful. We had a lovely kitchen in our old house, but the house was just such a bargain. We bought it and thought, well...
And that's because it's narrow. It's long and narrow, isn't it?
It is, yes. And because the main entrance is mainly through the kitchen door, it means everybody comes in and out that way. So it's just... And with the dogs and everything, it's all just a bit chaotic.
So anytime you're trying to impress anybody, you've got to make sure everything's washed up and put away and all the surfaces are clean. Otherwise, they just come in and see what you've been eating the night before.
And it never is, or it never ever seems to be that way.
Well, you've got teenagers, haven't you? Well, at least you've got one teenager on the way. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a bit of time to go then. Yeah, so that's really good, isn't it? So can you do that, though? Can you physically make that kitchen... Because that's a supporting wall with the window in, isn't it?
Well, it is.
I suppose you could put some pillars in and then extend into the garden a bit.
Yes, I mean that would be the way. I mean, it'd just like to turn it into a kitchen diner.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be the way. There is an issue with floor heights and things. I really want to. If I did this, would be to get a proper architect to solve all the problems. I don't like going into any situation where I don't know what the solution is.
Yes.
Before I into it. I've got a few builders. Oh yeah, we can do that. Oh, it's only like 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, pull the other one.
Yeah.
3 months later, you won't have finished this.
Oh no, that's the horrible thing, isn't it? That builders have got such a bad name that we know everybody tells you stories in which, oh yeah, they started at so and so, then it rained and they decided they were going to go somewhere else, or the sun came out and they were working on somebody's roof. And they come out with all this blood. He said, well, I thought you were working on mine. Yeah, well, we're working on about 6 properties at the same time. And then and then everything's not quite done. Right, so it's difficult, isn't it?
They're so full of sunny optimism that then the reality is of, as you say, getting other jobs that might actually be a little bit more financially advantaged or whatever.
Yeah.
So they do distracted. Plus, the job is easy until it becomes difficult. And if you don't know about that drain, that's going to be awkward and expensive to move. It gets
well, especially if you've then just already knocked down the wall, and you've got everything on acro bars, and you suddenly go, oh, there's a drain here. Yes. Ah, well, we can't do it then. What do you mean? Well, you'll have to move the drain. Well,
I've got a friend in London who I believe who's a newly built kitchen extension has to be demolished and started again because the builder didn't comply with all the rules and regulations, and the structure is apparently not safe. I mean, that's just a
presumably you can sue the builder, can you? Unless you've not taken a contract. There's nothing on written word to say. Well, you never told me that.
It's taken years of sorting it out, but yes, but of course the builder can also just go bust, and you've lost it.
You lost everything. Oh, that does sound a bit of a nightmare for him. Well, these sound great. Well, it's lovely to have that fire, I have to say. Yeah. I mean, as a man who has 2 of them in the house, and one where it shouldn't be, but I must put that out at some point, otherwise the fire brigade will come along. No, but it can be quite... I've been in the situation where I'm lying in bed and I go, oh, I can smell smoke. And it isn't... You get used to the type of smoke, like if it's a tyre, a plastic smoke or a rubber smoke, you go, wait a minute, that's not right. And you sort of walk around the house going, nope, it's not me. And then you realise it's something, somebody somewhere else has just been, I don't know, burning something or something, and it's drifted in, and you're going, oh, it is funny how you become very accustomed to it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but that's lovely. Well, thank you very much for telling us about your improvements. That's really good, Nigel.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to coming round like I did, 2 years ago now?
2 years ago, no, 2.25 years now.
So will you get rid of the television now and you would just sit and look at the flames on the fire?
Well, of a chilly winter's evening, then yes.
Yeah, there we are. Just put a rug over the telly. Nobody will notice it. Brilliant stuff. Lovely. Well, look after yourself, and we'll catch up with you soon. How marvellous.
Okay.
Take care, Nigel.
Cheers.
Take it. Bye-bye. There we are. That was Nigel Sadler in Tunbridge in Kent. A new fire. That's absolutely brilliant. Would like to extend the kitchen, of course. And quite recently, I know he bought himself one of these, I should have asked him, one of these great big massive live-in mobile home things and toured around, which is lovely. It is nice to make a change or an improvement, is it not, ladies and gentlemen? It is. What other improvements would you make? Give us a call on 0793 4746 790. We're halfway through the show. You might think that this show has not been improved by the lack of Dumpman, but let me tell you, if you've just joined us, he will be with us next week. Tomorrow, Ricky will be on the show, and then Julia and I will be back on that show. We have another phone call, which is marvellous. Let's find out who that is. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Richard. Hello, everyone. It's Ed Loud.
Hello, Ed Loud. How are you doing? Are you improving things?
Yes, definitely. I've realised that the root of a lot of my problems lately has been disorganisation. So I'm making an attempt to get more organised in my life.
It's very easy to be, I was going to say disorganised, but that sort of gives the impression that one is a complete klutz, as I believe the American friends say. But so just not as organised as we would like, shall we say?
Absolutely.
Because life can pile things on, and then it can get very difficult. So, in what area would you say you're disorganised?
It had become every area of my life, which is so not me. People who know me well know I'm the kind of guy that labels everything and writes everything down in a book. I mean, there's not a plug that doesn't get a label. I take it to extremes, which is probably the autism in me. But
do you have one of those, those old devices you used to see? I don't know whether you're old enough now, but you used to get I can't remember what they were called. They were little punch things, and you get this ticker tape, and you could write out, and then it would stick it on in this sort of slightly bulged text.
No, I know exactly what you mean. No, I never had one of them. I would just put sticky labels on things.
Right.
Had a place for everything, and I used to write down my aims and goals for the next day and stick it next to my bed when I wake up in the morning. That's what I've got to do for my life. And I would keep plans in a little book, and then as smartphones become more of a thing, I would keep them on my phone. And when sort of with my granddad being ill and passing away, and then the stress with my dad passing away, and all the COVID stuff in between, I'd really kind of got out of that habit. So I'm trying to return to it. Started with lots of little things, that tidying up my flat, for example. It sounds like such a basic thing, and it's taken me so far the best part of 6 weeks to get my flat looking tidy, and then the minute I switched off, it was untidy again, and I realised it just had too many of my dad's things, too many of my granddad's things lying around.
Yeah.
So someone suggested to me, just completely clear a room, take everything out apart from maybe large things like a wardrobe, and start with a clean slate. And then when the room starts to look crowded, everything else you've got to throw away. And that's worked a treat.
Well, there you go. I was going to say that does sound like a good policy. I've got a utility room. Well, I'll call it a utility room. It's where all the stuff that I don't know where to put is in one room. I mean, I'm lucky I've got this spare room. I would like it to be the old dining room once more at some point. Maybe it will be. But at the moment, it's one room where, because I'm filming in the house, I bung my lights in there, the tripods, but also junk and all sorts of to be sorted out. So it's not cluttering up the rest of the house.
Yeah.
We just mentioned that tape, and a lot of people have come forward and said it's called Dymo tape, which rings a bell. It's sort of embossed labelling system.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that somewhere.
Clever device, really clever.
It seems like the sort of thing you might use in retail, a bit like, for putting prices on things. Obviously not quite the same. But
I think my dad used to use it. He used to manufacture aerials, and he'd make the aerials. Yeah. They're all handmade, and he would handmade and had these little, what looked like plastic skips, but very small, these little trays. They were like in the shape of a plastic skip, the way a skip's sort of...
Yeah.
And he had loads and loads of these in different colours, and he would label them up with this Dymo tape gadget. And I remember as a kid, we'd go in there and put Richard's box and things like that, as kids do, and stick them on.
Great for organising.
Yeah, so I mean,
and my organising is going sort of deeper than just things you can instantly see when you pop into my flat. But I realised. My health, my health's been on a downward spiral for many years, and it got so bad that I was unable to work, and I'd only just got a new job.
Oh, right.
And I realised that my lack of organisation was impacting everything: my diet, lack of exercise, just through being unorganised. It sounds ridiculous, but if you don't organise buying things and this sort of nature, especially if you don't drive, it's very hard to then, buy something healthy and look after myself. So I do need to lose some weight, and the way I go about that is just by being organised, because when I'm organised, I eat well naturally. I don't have to sort of think, I shouldn't be eating that. I just sort of cut out the sweets, cut out the cheeseburgers, and other than that, I do pretty well. So yeah, all sorts of things that organisation can help me with. And also the air quality in my flat was ridiculously poor. We'd had many years of problems with mould and things like that. So I started trying to reorganise that as I cleared out all the rooms. I also basically painted all the walls with bleach, which will kill the surface mould. And then got some almost like air sterilisation equipment. I was working in infection control at the time, so I knew exactly what to look for. And that will sort of improve the quality of the air that I'm breathing without pumping chemicals into the air. And I'm already feeling a lot better. I wake up in the morning the last few weeks since I've had this equipment, and I actually feel like I'm going to achieve something. The air quality where I live is probably very poor anyway. I live right next to the South Circular. And yeah, if you're topping that off with moulds and dirty carpets that have been down for 15, 20 years and never had a clean, bless my granddad. Just simple things like organising that, cleaning up a room and fitting this equipment onto my walls so that I'm breathing clean air has made me feel a lot better, and I'm actually getting more done, which is really key for me because I suffer with a condition that causes a lot of fatigue. So
the more you can be
getting up in the morning is a struggle, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I can completely understand. And so you're feeling that these being organised has definitely improved yourself and your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just getting things done. I'm giving myself targets in the morning. So it might have been getting that air sterilisation equipment fitted. It might be, say, just clearing half a room. Today I'm going to clear half this room, and I've got someone coming around tomorrow, and when they turn up in the morning, they're going to see that, oh, Ed's got half a room clear. Is he decorating? And, just doing a little bit every day. I'm not doing a lot. I get massive fatigue problems, but if I just do a little bit every day, I'm going to get somewhere.
You will.
I feel
Absolutely.
like I've wasted my time before that.
No, that's very encouraging. And keep at it, and let us know how you get on.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe next time I turn up on one of your walks, some of my nice clothes will fit me again as well, hopefully.
Super. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
okay.
Look after yourself and keep improving.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Cheers, Ed. There we go. Ed has found a way to improve his life through organisation. Let's just have a quick look at the various messages coming through here. Colonel Craig Ratty says we're having a new up and over garage door to replace a 40-year-old door which keeps on breaking cables and jamming up. That'll be an improvement. Ready for Mr. Vobes for his revisit van work. Fantastic. I've got some plans for the van, so maybe you can help me on that. Mark Burgess says, do repeating affirmations and using visualizations really work for self-improvement? I reckon that is a question. Well, I think if you set yourself a mental goal, that's absolutely good. And visualizing that goal and getting it into your subconscious so that you're consciously aware of the things you want to improve in yourself, I am absolutely convinced that will help you. So yeah, do that, because I think we subconsciously do things. We put out messages within people around us, and if you're giving out the message that you want to get better, people will come to your aid. Sean James Cameron says Dymo tape is still back in fashion. His sister has labelled everything in the kitchen. That's good to know. I might have to get one of those things. And Julia M says, I have a Dymo. Is it Dymo? Dymo, have I got that right? Dymo. She says, I was a born secretary. Marvellous. That's what we need. And Sean James Cameron says, I find that if you get dressed as soon as you wake up, you're more prepared for the day ahead and in a happier mood rather than lounging around in slops. Well, I totally agree. I am somebody who cannot stay in. If this whole business about work from home. Well, I work from home a lot of the time, and then I'm out and about doing the filming. I could not conceive of working in just my pajamas or in my I mean, how people do that, in their underpants and all of that, or in lounging about. I have to get dressed. I like to get dressed. I feel proper if I'm dressed. I hear of people having duvet days or sitting about in their nightgowns all day, and you just think, what, where are your standards? That's just my opinion. Yours may differ, and that's perfectly normal. Mark Burgess says Department of Work used to use the teaching package of Lou Tice and his STEPS program delivered across 5 days in a classroom. You'll have to tell us a bit more about that, because I'm not quite sure what that means, but it sounds like a good thing. And Colonel Cragratty says we're having... Oh, you just said that. I've just reread that again. So thank you very much. And Colonel Crag says we're having a new up and over... Oh, no, he hasn't posted it again. He says other labelling systems are also available. Lots of smooth labels with different styles and sizes of text. I dare say there is. And It's Fun Viewing says you're looking very dapper, Richard. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm trying to improve how I look on screen. For me, it's very important to look nice, to look trim, because I feel my videos are going to be out there for as long as YouTube is out there. Can't say forever, because forever is a hell of a long time. And I would like those that when people come across them, that they see the best of me, rather than just a sloppy version of me in which I couldn't get dressed properly, or I couldn't focus the camera, or, because I have a certain number of skills in that area, and I'm able to look reasonable. I'm working with my ugly mug and my strange body, but I think it's incumbent to anybody who's performing on camera to do that. It's just my view. You may disagree. I've been brought up with costumes and making them look good. I went to mime school in order to be it's supposed to be able to stand and be open to the audience and look good and all that kind of nonsense. But it all helps. But you do see people, they go out and they make their videos and they haven't thought about the clothes they wear, and they can look sloppy, or they're not shaven. Maybe maybe the image that they've created, in which case that's absolutely fine. But I think a lot of the time people not even aware of that. But again, it's just my opinion. Kerry Baldwin says, got obsessed with genealogy, and then you will understand sitting in your night gear. I've been known to sit at the PC and get totally absorbed. Well, I can understand that if you're totally absorbed, but not getting dressed at all in the mornings and just flopping about. I just think it gives you a sense of dignity. It gives you a sense of purpose. If I don't have proper clothes on by about 8 o'clock in the morning, I feel that a delivery man could come to the door with a delivery, and if I have to open the door and I'm still not quite dressed, I would feel awful. Now, you could say, yeah, but what if you do shift work? You've worked all day, and you've worked all night, and you've just got in your pajamas at 8 o'clock, and you're about to go to bed. Then what? I would still have to get dressed to answer the door. I can't answer the door. I'll tell you another story about this sort of thing. We'll play another video. Once I started to do the daily videos, and I was quite surprised that people would actually notice me in the street. And they say, "Hello, you're that bloke who does the videos, aren't you? The Bald Explorer." And I was dressed appalling. I was just in, T-shirt and some old jeans. I've been faffing about in the house doing some painting or something. And I thought I must have looked absolutely outrageous, nipping down to get some paint, and I wasn't very well dressed. And it made me realise what film stars and TV personalities, there they are, they haven't got any milk, they're a bit unshaven, they've only got a T-shirt on, they nip out, paparazzi have taken that picture, they've got a picture of you looking really miserable, and then it's in the paper saying, so-and-so look right miserable today, and you think, no, actually, I was in a really good mood. I was just going to get some paint. But the story gets done. So I'm trying now not to let my image slip. But that's the way I feel. Judith says, I dislike the trend for saggy grey tracksuit bottoms on men. I don't like tracksuit bottoms on anybody unless they're actually running on a track. Or I have got some that my son gave me, admittedly, and I wear them in bed in the winter because they are quite warm. Or if I'm doing a little bit of weight training. But using them for sports, that's fine. But just for everyday life, it's like, well, we've had this conversation before. Julia M says, my postman has never seen me dressed. Let's not go too far in that one then, Julia M. And Martin Lee says, on rare occasions, I'm not dressed if we have a delivery. I have to hide behind the front door. There we go. And Connor McLeod says, what about a tool belt? I don't know what you mean. What about one? That's not being dressed, is it? That's an accessory. You can accessorize with a tool belt, but it's not a thing. And Michael White says you have to be nuts to believe anything in the papers these days. Absolutely. The only thing in the papers you can believe in is if it's some chips. Anyway, we've got a film or two to play into you, but before that, I want to show you a lovely garden. Raymond, good old Ray of Hope, says amazingly, he says, here's a February garden. He says, amazingly, the grass had to be cut at the end of January. Never been done before. And some afternoon light over North Horsham on the first day of February. Very calming with the late day aircraft vapour trails. Here is the picture of Ray's garden in the early February. Look at that. You would not believe that is February. Look at those stripes. There, that's something to be proud of, isn't it? Up and down. I've been there. I've been to Ray's house. I've seen his garden. It's magnificent. Look at that. He's given me some logs, says Ray. What a lovely man he is. And there we go. Now, of course, a number of people go, it's global warming, isn't it, mate? That's man-made global warming, that is. I don't believe it. I don't believe a word of it. But anyway, you're not interested in what I believe. So let us get back into the video box. Bernie has been out and about. He's just taken a quick shift up to Scotland for us, and he's gone to Moffat. Let's find out what he means by that.
They're churches. That is quite a
Proper Gothic church.
quite a beautiful design. Oh, better view there.
Even if the clock is 3.5 to 4 hours past. Well, it could be local time.
Cast-iron clock.
That is absolutely magnificent. See, the things I do for you viewers. Well, I'm now in Moffat itself, and the Buccleuch Arms is the clue to one of the largest estates in the area, the Buccleuch estate. Suppliers of fine meats, etc. to the trade. Lovely wide avenue here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Look at that. A lovely building there. And a memorial of some kind. I don't quite know what it is. Street furniture in the way. About it. But, it's a war memorial. I like to seek out the unusual.
Yeah.
When I go to places.
On the roof up there.
Oh yeah, thanks for showing. See, that's the kind of thing. Let's zoom in. I don't know what he's doing up there. From a distance it looks positively rude, but it's not. It's just I think there's some fitment. Oh, it's gone blurred. wish it wouldn't do that. There we go. See if I can get in more slowly. It's like a bear.
How can a thistle look like a bear? There's no hope for me.
I have to conserve a bit of battery strength today, so this will be all I can really take and mop it. So I notice just up the road over there, the other side of the bus stops is the town hall. Let's walk up here. Chemist and druggist. You don't see that name very often. And an awning. Balmoral Hotel. And there's the town hall, and you can see where the hills are behind the town. Typical small Scottish town. Very nice, very pleasant, and very friendly.
And that's Moffat. How lovely. Thank you very much, Bernie, for giving us a little insight there to a man on a roof doing a whatever he's doing. Anyway, it was lovely to see him. Thank you very much, Bernie. Don't forget to send in some more. And you can check out the Station Master's Choice channel and see the whole thing in glorious detail without even a certificate. You know, one of those, what is it? The certificate? Is it a certificate U? It's not a certificate 18, is it? Censorship, that's the word I was looking for. Fantastic. We are getting close to the end of the show. We're going to go straight to our next video so we get that in, then we can take a final phone call if you want on improvements, and that will be that. So Stephen Agger, you remember he brought in, no, he didn't bring it in, he sent in a video in which he was on a train and it went over the Ribblehead. Sorry, I was getting all my B's in the wrong place. The Ribblehead Viaduct, chuffing along. Well, he's got a continuation of that journey, so be prepared. Tickets, please. Tickets, please.
And please do not try to use the full crossing until the train is at the station.
There we are. Didn't expect to get that view today, did you? Marvellous. Thank you very much, Stephen Agger, for that. Wonderful. And I think Connor McLeod said that you can stay at Dent Station. As indeed, I'm sure you could stay at any other station just by lying down on the platform. They may not prefer that. I assume that there's a little inn, is there? Like in the old days when they used to have the railway hotel opposite the station. Lovely. And according to Stephen there, he said it was the highest station in England. I was expecting people to get out with oxygen masks and goggles and all that kind of stuff. Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed. We have a phone call to end the show with, which is marvellous. We've got 6 minutes. Let's find out who it is. Hello, caller.
It's me again, very briefly.
Oh, me again, very briefly. Are you wearing your briefs or are you fully dressed?
I'm fully dressed.
Oh, that's okay.
Though I have just had a bath.
Oh, have you?
It's incidental information.
What, whilst you were watching the show?
Yes.
Did you take me in the bath with you?
The phone isn't that waterproof.
No. Well, you missed it then. That's okay. You missed the bit where we were having a right old go at you.
No, I brought the phone in. No. I closed the lid so you couldn't see out.
Oh, good.
I could hear you.
Yeah. Oh, marvellous. Anyway, yes. What can we do for you?
The motorhome.
Yes. Oh, yes, the motorhome. That's right. This massive, great big thing on wheels, which looked lovely.
If you Google the Black Pearl motorhome, I think you'll find it, because 2 years ago it was a hire vehicle down in the West Country somewhere. But anyway, the main problem we're having there now, we've had it sort of checked out, is the level of dampness, particularly this time of year, in the over cab bit where the main bed is. That's quite a damp space.
I'm just looking for a place called Wanna Home online. They've got something called Black Pearl Edition.
I think it's probably that one. It may well be down now, but certainly the site was still up a year ago.
Oh right, it does say it's sold. Let's have a look. I'm going to put the picture up on the thing. Sold for £83,000.
No,
is that yours?
I don't think so.
It looks very space age in there. That is very space. That's not your one. Look at that.
No, another Black Pearl. Okay, right.
Yeah. You got competition. Does yours look like this, by the way? I'm putting up these pictures.
No, that's far too. My house is 20 years old.
This is
isn't
Brian.
Quite as big and spacious.
This was more than my house was when I bought it.
Yes.
It's outrageous. My goodness. I can never understand why people pay that much money for effectively a vehicle which, 10 years down the line is going to have all sorts of issues, no doubt. But anyway, go on. Tell us about the issues you were having.
Well, yes. No, apart from that, the engine is horrendously underpowered. The kind of decision now, should we just sell it and get rid of it? I mean, apart from just using it, or spend probably 5 figures on getting the thing sort of rebuilt, because it is 20 years old, and fiberglass gets dented and bashed, and leaks come in. So the main sleeping area, which is the loosened bit above the cab, which is where the double bed is, that is like really quite damp this time of year.
Now wait a minute, hang on, just hold on a second. Earlier in the phone call you rang in earlier, talking about your house and the things that the things that could go wrong, and you said, I like to be somebody who knows all the problems before they happen. Were you aware of all the problems that you might have with them?
No, well, it wasn't my purchase. I was not in favour of the purchase.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. The missus.
The other half, it was her money, and she chose it. I mean, she brought me along, and I tried to dissuade her against it, but she decided to buy it. So,
yeah. Does she drive it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried it probably a bit more than she does, but yeah, it does get.
Because how long have you had it now? About a year. 10 months.
Getting probably 9.
9. Yeah, because I remember I got my little black van, and then you came honking past, going, "Look what I've got! Look what I've got!" Oh right, okay, yeah. You have fun getting through a 2-meter high parking restriction thing.
Yes.
I can just get my van through, and I thought, you can't get your van in there. I can get in. Oh. So well, obviously sell it, get £83,000 for it.
You can. Well, here we go. I found it. If you went to a website called Camplify, CAMPLIFY.co.uk.
Yes, I'm going in now. Yes, Camplify. Yeah.
They will have a number of them, but they've got a black. That's where the Black Pearl. That was the company that used to have it. And if you were to search, how would you do that? If you probably search the black in it's the search bar My Adventure starts in.
Yes, I'm there.
Type in the Black Pearl there, you might come across it. But there it is.
And have you found it?
Yes.
I'm doing it now.
It was just a Black Pearl motorhome, and it's about like the 6th entry down came up with it because it had a picture, and I recognised the back of it.
Nothing's gone on.
Yeah.
Black Pearl.
Yeah. Try that.
Find a van. Ah, wait a minute. No, hang on. I'm getting camper vans that look like... Oh, here we go. What are we looking at? Go 5 or something down.
Okay.
Martha, Brenda, Big Blue, Colt in a...
Dave.
Bubble, Dave, George Best. Oh, Georgie Best. I don't know where I've gone.
There are several pages of them. It looks a bit like The Adventurer, but he's much older.
Right. Black Pearl. I'll just put that in and see if that does anything.
I could. Of course, I could paste the URL in the chat, couldn't I?
Yeah, it might get deleted, but there it is.
Do.
Julia's found it. We're waiting for the page to come up. Oh, here we go. The Black Pearl, £53 a day. There we are. That's what you can do. Rent it out, 53 quid with free mouldy shower.
Yes, quite. That's the problem.
It looks nice though. It's actually smaller than I thought. I don't know why I had it in my head that it was a hugely long thing.
No, we know somebody else who's got a bus.
Oh, right.
The largest one you can drive without requiring extra licenses and stuff, which is twice the length and is quite amazing to get in.
That does look very swish though.
Yeah, we're going to probably jazz it up inside and replace all the soft furnishings with something a bit more exciting and funky.
Yeah, they still have that sort of slightly 1970s look with those stripes. Have you got the same stripes?
Yes, they are the stripes of the 1970s interior.
Ah, right.
Bring it up, but like the sink, the water splashes and gets between the back of the sink and the wall, and therefore it makes the wall.
Oh yeah.
Damp. We had some habitation check people coming in, and they have a damp meter that records all this, and so it's like 70% damp in the bedroom area, and similarly around the kitchen sink area, but the rest of it's okay. I mean, it's in pretty good nick considering its age, but it could also do with having a nice big engine put in so it can go faster than 40 miles an hour.
Is that what it does? Fully loaded?
Yeah. Downhill it goes faster, but 40 miles an hour is your cruising speed.
Has it got brakes?
Yeah.
Brakes that can stop you if you're going faster than 40. Hang on, we've only got little brakes because we don't expect to go fast.
Yes, you do. You do need to throw out anchors to slow you down.
Yeah.
Yes. So do an emergency stop because you probably wouldn't.
So lots of improvements on that, but it does look nice, and I imagine that because I know you toured around all over the place with it, and apart from the kids getting bored, it must have been great fun.
It was.
Yeah.
It was more pleasurable than I thought it was going to be.
Oh right.
But yeah, we're going to come down in May because I signed up for a flint napping course at Worthing Museum with Mr. Sainsbury and somebody else.
Apparently that is a thing now. A lot of people are getting. I don't know where I saw that. Somebody saying, or maybe it was on the thing. Loads of people are taking up flint napping.
Yes. So I thought, okay, archaeology, I'll come and do that. So we're down in May. I think
Rather flint napping than kidnapping is what I say.
So we'll bring the van down, park it on the seafront or somewhere to stay overnight. because it's on the courses on the Saturday, and then we're going up to either Sisbury or a hopefully Black Patch on the Sunday.
Oh, lovely.
Site visits
Yeah.
to the mines.
Oh,
So that'll all be
fantastic.
poorly. So we will try and hopefully meet up with you probably on the Saturday evening or something. Drop by and say hello.
Yeah, do. Absolutely. I'll make sure I'm out. That would be lovely. Yeah, May, you say?
Yes.
Yes, I should be touring around the Tunbridge area
Splendid.
in May. Just
Excellent.
putting it in my diary straight away. Yes.
Fine. Yeah, the house will be empty. You can come and stay here.
Fantastic. Well, that's it. Thank you very much, Nigel. And yeah, the Black Pearl. It's funny it's called a Black Pearl, and yet they've decorated it in blue with blue waves on it.
Well, yeah, that's how it came when it was built, when it came out of the Fiat factory in Italy. But yeah, I just named it that because it was a nautical theme for probably from wherever the higher place was.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because there's nothing black about it.
No, they could have called it the Blue Pearl, couldn't they?
They could have done.
Yeah. See, they need a little bit of imagination there, or we need the imagination to sort of get the blue to the. Anyway, never mind all that. Nigel, got to go. I've got to go and have a cup of coffee now before Betty buys. So thank you very much, Nigel. That was lovely.
Toodaloo, everyone.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye. There we are. He's off to the loo. He's had a bath. He's off to the loo. That's us all done and dusted. Thank you for all the improvement stuff. Marvellous stuff. Thank you for the videos. Just checking to see if there was any bits and bobs. Thanks to Julia for giving us the link. That was brilliant. And she reminded us that I did a video with good old James Sainsbury at the Worthing Museum, and we did have planned some other ones, but unfortunately COVID came along and it all became a bit difficult. We'll hopefully do some more with James at some point. I must email him and see if he's still up for it. But that's it. Thanks to Judith as well, and to Sean, who's given me some bits of letting me know the reverb was on and various things, and to you guys for watching. Big thanks to Bernie, of course, to Stephen Agger and Andrew Norris, to Raymond for showing us his prize lawn in February. That's just outrageous. But there you go. Look after yourselves. Take care. Have a nice time. Thanks to my phone call people. Back tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, with Ricky. Madness and mayhem. And in the morning on the Bald Explorer channel, Ricky and I get up to mischief. More fun and games there. And next week on the Wednesday, luck prevailing, we will have Dumpman. But that's it. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.